area.
Once again.
Hello and welcome to round 4 here at Grand Prix Indianapolis. Team sealed Maria Bartholdi alongside Jacob Van Lunen here in the booth, and we've got a powerhouse for you to watch this round. Sam Black, Matt Severa, and Justin Cohen playing against Jonathan Morawski, Tian Nguyen, and Ben Hull. So let's start on table A with Black versus Morawski. This team on the left side of your screen, of course, from Madison. Sam Black, known for being a very good limited player. Daring Buccaneer is going to be the first play of the game, and this is a strong play for any red deck.
Absolutely. If he was on the play, this would have just been absurd. And even on the draw now, he's kind of stolen the tempo away from Jonathan here.
2-2 for 1 mana, not too shabby. He's going to get in there and follow it up with another really aggressive play in Goblin Trailblazer, which is 2-1 with Menace.
I think Sam Black's greatest strength as a Magic player is his ability to build decks. And I think in Limited, that's actually even more valuable than it is in Constructed. And at these Team Limited events, Sam Black has just been one of the most successful players we've had over the last decade. And a lot of that is because of just how good of a deck builder he is and how good he is at helping his teammates build their decks in the process.
A lot of times he has really creative decks too at Team Limited events, which is kind of fun to see. Pretty meat and potato straightforward so far, what we're seeing here. Really good though. Some very aggressive plays from Sam Black. Jonathan's going to try and stem the bleeding a little bit here with Crashing Tide on that Goblin Trailblazer.
Yeah, that's not an ideal situation for Crashing Tide. Obviously, it's fine, but usually you want to be using it on a card that costs at least 3.
Now you can see how aggressive Sam Black is getting. There's a Blight Keeper joining the Goblin Trailblazer, tapping out every turn. I love it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here if Sam Black was playing very, very few lands here. Let's take a look at his deck list.
Oh, yes, that's going to be interesting to see for sure. Normally sealed, kind of a slower format. However, Rivals of Ixalan has proven itself so far, at least in my experience, to be pretty dang quick. And here we go, attack from Jonathan here with the help of a Jadecraft Artisan. Going to give that Flying Merfolk there, the Shaper Apprentice, +2/+2. Set it in there for a little bit of beats here, getting back at Sam Black. Jadecraft Artisan, a pretty solid card as well too. You're just ending up with a 3/3 body after giving away that +2/+2 bonus.
And interestingly enough, there's only one creature on Sam's side of the table that the Jadecraft Artisan can even block, so wow.
Okay, so we knew something was up here when Sam Black attacked with his 3 creatures, and sure enough, Moment of Craving is enough to deal with that Jadecraft Artisan. And you heard it last round, Kenji Gashira said this was one of the best removal spells in the format.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good at winning races. It's instant speed. It's almost always killing something that costs the same amount of mana that it costs. A lot of the time you pick up 2-for-1s when your opponent's using tricks. Just an incredible spell. One of the better first pick commons out of this new set. Also, Sam, let's point out that he has used every single one of his mana on every single turn thus far.
That's efficiency for you, JBL.
Yes, it is.
So Jonathan on the back foot pretty severely here early on in the game. Thrashing Brontodon is going to try to shore things up 3/4 for 3 mana. Heck of a card.
Yeah, great stats for its cost. And
can blow up an enchantment if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. If your opponent happens to have something disgusting like a Profane Procession or the like, it's a nice answer to those cards as well.
Doesn't have reach though, so the Blight Keeper is going to ping in there for a single damage. I love how that Brontodon's just stepping on that boat. Boom.
Oh, that means that he's not going to be around anymore though, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Gosh, you got to go and make it sad.
Oh, wow.
Jadelight Ranger for Jonathan Morawski. Explore, then explore again.
This is my favorite card from the new set.
Oh, yeah?
I think this card's going to have huge constructed implications. It produces card advantage. It can be very large for its cost. It manipulates the top of your library. Just an incredible card.
Showing off a Kumena Speaker there for Jonathan. Kind of making a decision now if he wants to bin it or keep it there on the top of the library. Do you expect cards like Jade Light Ranger to show up even in formats like Modern, do you think?
It may be a little too slow there.
Sure.
It's a format where, turn 3, there are some pretty powerful options available to you, or some pretty synergistic options, but I think in Standard it's definitely going to have a lot of homes, not just dedicated Merfolk decks.
Especially in a deck with a snake. A certain snake.
Yeah, it works pretty nicely with everybody's favorite constrictor.
All right, passing back over to Sam Black. No attacks there from Jonathan Morawski. See if Black is able to use up all of his mana yet again on this turn.
Yeah, interesting though. Here we see just how good this 3/4 is against, Sam's early offense. Sam had a insane start to this game, and just a 3/4 on the other side of the table is doing a very good job of, making him pump the brakes here.
In comes the Blightkeeper, and you're right, Sam Black has to keep the rest of the team back. Shaper Apprentice is going to jump in front of the bat. Here we have a Fathom Fleet Border, which is a 3/3 for 3. Not too shabby stats on that. Don't lose 2 life because he controls a pirate. Multiple pirates, for that matter. They're all pirates. Even that goblin. Crashing Tide there from Jonathan yet again. The second one we've seen played so far in this game.
Yeah, and that's a great card. I mean, obviously it's at its best in Merfolk decks where you could use it at instant speed and really get people when they go for their tricks. It can also be combined with creatures that have strong come into play abilities. You can use it to save your guy when your opponent tries to use a removal spell to kill it, to essentially draw 2 cards, one of which is the guy that your opponent was trying to destroy.
And you mentioned using something like Ravenous Chupacabra with it if you really want to get nasty.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Ravenous Chupacabra, if you're nasty.
Yeah, it's just a nasty card for nasty people. Let's check out Ravenous Chupacabra.
All right, we've got our first win here. Tian Win up a game over Matt Severa.
Oh, wow. All right, so this is a rare from the new set. Path of Discovery.
Ooh, I love this card.
So what this says is that whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. And I've seen people do really nasty things with this in vampire tokens. Just a card that can produce a lot of advantage over the course of a game if it's able to stay in play for a few turns.
I have seen it used in just filthy fashion with Tendershoot Dryad.
Ooh, that sounds really fun.
Every upkeep you're making a Saproling. That's exploring. Brilliant.
That was the first card I picked out of the first pack I opened of Ravels of Ixalan, Tendershoot Dryad.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That card is a house. It wins the game on its own.
It does.
You honestly don't have to have basically anything else going on. All right, let's see here what Sam Black can try and put together as far as attacks go. He's kind of been hampered the last few turns.
Yeah, he's going to take advantage of the menace ability here and probably just trade with that Jade Light Ranger.
That's a trade he's probably really happy with, in that Jonathan only has 1 creature back to block now. And
notice that normally Sam Black, being a powerful wizard, he's casting his spells post-combat to keep his opponent guessing, but in order to get the City's Blessing, he cast the Dusk Charger pre-combat. So now it's a 5/5 for the rest of the game.
Nice. Another Jadecraft Artisan is the play here for Morawski. It's going to explore, not because it has explore, but thanks to the enchantment that he has on the table. Gilt Grove Stalker is the card that's revealed, which we haven't gotten a chance to talk about this card yet this weekend, but I just really want a quick mention. Ooh, whoa. Hold up. Put that thought on pause. We've got a mythic on the table. We've got a mythic. A mythic merfolk here.
Kumena, Tyrant of Erazka.
2/4. Tap another untapped merfolk you control. It can't be blocked this turn. Tap 3, draw a card. Tap 5, put a +1/+1 counter on each merfolk you control. What a house.
I've had to play against it. It's not fun to play against. I can let you know that.
It's fun to play with. I can confirm that, JVL.
Oh, you've played with it?
I have.
I haven't had one yet.
So
mythic
good.
rare.
So good.
So before the match started, I actually heard Justin Cohen talking to a few people, and he described Sam Black's deck as the deck that was incapable of winning of their 3 decks.
Really?
Which surprised me, because then when we started watching it, I was like, oh, this is coming out gangbusters.
I wonder why. The team there from Madison, Sam Black, 3 Pro Tour top 8s, 14 GP top 8s, Matt Severa, 8 GP top 8s, win in DC in 2017. Justin Cohen, 5 GP top 8s with 2 team wins in Louisville and DC in 2016.
And this is a powerful team of Magic players right here. Madison's finest, if you will.
There you get a look at Path of Discovery. Costs 4 mana. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. This card was kind of like a big question mark for me coming into this weekend. If we were going to see decks that could make a good use of it based on the speed of the format that we've witnessed so far. Nicely timed Bombard here from Sam Black.
And that's a really big 2-for-1 here for him.
1 creature left once again for Jonathan. Is going to play that Giltgrove Stalker that we knew was coming. Going to explore, finds an island. You know, Commander Tyrant of Veraska is pretty good, but it's kind of lonely when it doesn't have any merfolk friends to help it do its thing.
It's true. Still, Jonathan needs another merfolk before he can even so much as draw a card with it.
So much ass. Hunt the week. All right. Kumena will be hunting a Swaggering Corsair. Comes out victorious. Now 4/6.
So just a quick note about what we saw on Sam's last turn. Oh, here's another rare. I believe it's the captain.
Oh, Captain Lannery Storm herself. We should get Hugh in here to say it, though. I'm Lannery Storm.
The way she enjoys captaining her ship.
Yeah. I just love the look on her face.
So on Sam's turn prior, though, when he had used that Bombard,
right.
This is something that comes up in sealed deck a lot more often than any other format, where you can use your instant speed removal, and especially when you're playing larger creatures in your deck, you can usually expect that at some point your opponent will line up a double block, and it gives you a big opportunity to pick up a lot of valuable card advantage when you're able to kill one of your opponent's creatures and have your other creature just trump the one that they have remaining. So just a great way to pick up 2-for-1s in sealed, and if you're looking to get better at the sealed format, that's definitely something you should be looking for when you're building your deck and drawing your instant speed removal spells.
So Sam Black here just looking to push through some more damage. Captain Lannery Storm blocked profitably by Kumena. Merfolk Mistbinder here. The Merfolk Lord is the play for Jonathan. A Water Knot is what he finds off of that Explorer. Just going to leave it on top.
Important draw step here for Sam. If he does not get here on this draw step, then it's likely that it's over. Oh!
Unfriendly Fire! Wow, Unfriendly Fire, and you saw Sam Black's finger, right at the face. Boom.
Didn't even tap it, he just turned it up and pointed.
Yep, that's all you got to do sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like it's a pretty friendly way to play with that card.
Yeah, sure. A friendly way to play with Unfriendly Fire. Well, it looks like Sam Black's deck can win, after all. Chalking up a win for his team there. Matt Severa and Tian Nguyen now have tied things up. They're on Table B, 1 game apiece. Looks like we're still in Game 1 on our Table C, Justin Cohen versus Ben Hull. Let's peek in at what's going on over there. Wow, this is unusual. 2 white-blue decks facing down.
Yeah, and white-blue, not one of the tribes, so to speak, but white-blue Flyers is a deck, and when you're getting to open 12 packs, there's a pretty good possibility that it's there. Now with all these unblockable creatures and auras that give things lifelink like Squire's Devotion, it seems like white-blue could be even better than it was back in Triple Ixalan. Yeah,
a lot of people are calling it white-blue boggles. So yeah. You not necessarily have a vampire or a dinosaur, but you can suit up an unblockable, sometimes hex-proof creature with some auras and swing in.
Yeah, that keyword slippery
Yes.
is pretty nice.
Slippery Scoundrel. And you can see one of those on Justin Cohen's side of the battlefield down there. He certainly has the city's blessing at this point, making it hexproof and unblockable. If it wears a Squire's Devotion, well, then things are looking pretty good. There we see one of the kind of hallmark cards of white and blue, although it's not a supported color pair in Resplendent Griffin.
Player Jeffrey Clinton is reported to be red gathering point. Jeffrey Clinton.
Ascend Relevant as well for that Resplendent Griffin. If you've got it and it attacks, it gets a counter.
And that's a great rate. If you've had a chance to play with that card at all, when you have the City's Blessing. Even when you don't, I mean, a 2/3 flyer for 3 is a fine deal, but once you get the City's Blessing, that thing is completely out of hand.
I've wanted to play with that card so often in draft that I just... But the problem is, like we said, it's not in a tribe, but it's just so tempting for me to want to pick it because, well, obviously it's very strong, and it's just a really fun card to play with, too.
Yeah, I mean, the purple toupee with the green wings. It's a nice combination.
Stylish.
So, Snubhorn Sentry. This is a card that I was actually has impressed me over the course of this week when I've been playing with the new set. It's a card that on the surface, it looks kind of bad. You're like, oh, what is this, Wall of Wood? It's a 0/3 for 1 mana. But usually around turn 5 or 6, suddenly you get a 3/3 that you didn't have to pay mana for that can start attacking. Yeah, there's Wall of Wood, for those of you wondering. And Wall of Wood probably wouldn't be the worst in this sealed format if you're playing a more controlling deck. And I think Snubhorn Sentry is actually at its best in this white-blue type of Flyers deck where you use it to control the ground while you pressure people in the air. Yeah,
that card's actually really impressed me, too. All of a sudden, you just have to start worrying about your opponent's 0/3 that they played for 1 mana 10 turns ago.
Yeah, they're fun to train.
That's the flavor. They're like training over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Justin Cohen once again swinging with unblockable damage there. Ben Hull on quite the clock. Life total perilously low. There's a look at Slippery Scoundrel. And it is low enough that one more attack from that Scoundrel will do it. Justin Cohen picks up the first game there versus Ben Hull, putting several W's in the side of the Madison team column. Tian Nguyen with just 1 win for his team. They're going to have to do some work moving forward here in round 4. Both teams currently sitting at 3-0, so an excellent start to both of them for the morning. We're playing 8 rounds of Swiss today. Coming back, doing it again tomorrow. And we're going to do some team drafting in there as well.
Yeah, new sealed pools tomorrow. The people who make it to the finals tomorrow will have gotten to play with a lot of different cards over the course of the day. They had a brand new sealed pool of 12 new packs on the second day. Then they had to do 2 drafts before they play those final matches. Pretty exciting stuff.
All right, let's check in here on table 2. Matt Severa versus Tian Nguyen. Red-Black Pirates for Win versus Red-Green Dinos and Good Stuff for Matt Severa.
Yeah, Regisaur Alpha is one of the better cards in
That's
this
one of the
format.
good stuff that that we've alluded to.
Many people have lovingly referred to him as Reggie.
Reggie, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Raging Regisaur in this set as well, so you have Raging Reggie in Rivals. Lurking Chupacabra here for Win, targeting Reggie, our friend.
It's one of the few interactions where Ravenous Chupacabra isn't just a complete and total blowout. Like, Severa at least got his...
Reckless Rage on?
3/3. Yeah, it's 3/3 out of the...
Oh, yeah, sure.
Out of Reggie before he was eaten by the Beast Horror.
Horror is a very often looked creature type that I think it'd be really fun to build a deck around.
There's some sweet horrors over the years. Dinrova
Horror?
Yeah, that's...
All right, swing in here for Matt Severa. It's not what I was thinking, Marshall, but sure.
I think that needs to be in there.
That's
though,
great art, though. Look at that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Huge fan.
So, I mean, Severa has all but taken over this game there with Crested Herdcaller. This is a really powerful card. For 5 mana, you get a pair of 3/3 tramples, which trump such a huge portion of the playable cards in this limited metagame.
Fathom Fleet Border here attempting to trade, and does so with that token from Severa. Thrashing Brontodon, the follow-up play, a little bit of an upgrade there. So Severa able to battle back through this Chupacabra's ravenous hunger. Swing in from Win. Get in there, puppy. And we'll draw some cards. Back over to Severa, who just immediately turns the crew sideways.
Yeah, and that's going to be 8 damage anyway.
Down it goes, and there's a handshake. Matt Severa taking that match there versus Tian Win, 2 games to 1. So we've only got 1 more game to win for the team of Black, Severa, and Cohen to put them off to a 4-0 undefeated start. We'll see if they can do it or if our other team can battle back. Checking back here on Black versus Morawski. Fathom Fleet Firebrand followed up by a Swaggering Corsair for Black. Sworn Guardian, Drover of the Mighty, Shaper Apprentice for Morawski.
It looks like Morawski had Drover of the Mighty on the play that can lead to some very, very powerful draws.
All right, here we go. Thrashing Brontodon will pump up that Drover here for Jonathan. Swinging in with that in the Shaper Apprentice. Oh, you're right, JVL. This flavor text on that Brontodon's so sad, too. It cares more about preserving the herd's territory than about preserving itself.
It's so sad.
Jeez, so many cards in this set have the saddest flavor text. Bombard here from Sam Black. Cherished Hashling, of course. Sad. Reaver Ambush, by the way, that's a random one that I just read one day, and I was just like, wow, that's tragedy.
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, there it is. Honora knew with sudden, grim certainty he would never see the Great River again.
Aww.
This is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That pirate's going to just like slash you apart with its hook.
Poor Honora.
We barely knew you.
Sam's doing a pretty good job this game, kind of like keeping everything in order. When the Brontodon came down, it looked pretty bad for him.
Sure. Swing with the Shaper Apprentice here for Jonathan. I would say this card has improved even more with the release of Rivals.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the X1s got a bit worse because token production got better, but flying got much better as a keyword. So,
Shapers of Nature there for Morawski. Sam Black once again does what his deck wants to do. Swings in. A few 3/3s and a 2/2 with the ability to pump.
And this is interesting because it may just be that Sam does not have a good answer to Shapers, so he really needs to press this issue. The other thing is that this limited format really does lend itself to racing situations, and it's often true that the person who is blocking more is the person who is losing. So
Double block here on this Fathom Fleet Firebrand if Black has any kind of trick up his sleeve. It's not looking good. He's just going to he's just going to pump twice, deal with those 2 creatures, get in for 6. Grasping Scoundrel is a follow-up play. Once again, a great use of mana here from Sam Black.
And also, it's nice that Sam decided to go ahead and line up that big attack on the turn when Jonathan was tapped out, because we know that Jonathan has multiple copies of Crashing Tide in his deck.
Right.
Because we saw 2 of them, even just in the first game. So Sam knows that there's at least 2 Crashing Tide in his opponent's deck, and he's trying to play around them as effectively as he can.
There's look at Crashing Tide. Has flash as long as you control a merfolk. Return target creature to its owner's hand and draw a card. Card feels like all game when you play it when you've got a merfolk. Even if you don't, honestly. Who cares?
Yeah.
I draw a card.
I feel so happy whenever I play that card. It's one of those cards that's much better when you're winning, though.
Sure.
When you're just like laying it on thick.
Just tempo beats.
They like pay 4 or 5 mana for a dinosaur, and you're like, oh, look at all this water.
Jonathan Morowski swinging in with his team. Follow-up play. Got a hexproof merfolk once again. Jade Guardian.
And Jade Guardian very well positioned against these black-red decks. Just a decent card in general, but when you're playing against a deck that has, a lot of removal as opposed to more pump spells as their form of interacting.
All right, here's a trick there. Sam Black, like we said, blocking against the red-black deck is just so dangerous. Buccaneers Bravado is going to make that a...
And that's one of the more exciting cards from the set. I don't know how many times... I haven't even played that many games of this limited format, and I've seen multiple games end completely out of nowhere with Buccaneers Bravado.
Absolutely.
Just kills people.
Double strike, Pirate?
Boom!
It can be 6 out of nowhere. Sam Black going to take down that match versus Jonathan Morowski. That gives the team of Black, Severa, and Cohen the win here this round. Team from Madison showing their greatness here. They're good limited players. They're making it known now, sitting 4-0.
Yeah, showing off that bravado, if you will.
That Buccaneers bravado. Well, overall, JVL, I just want to get a feeling from you as to how you feel this team-sealed environment is shaping up with the addition of Rivals of Ixalan versus just Ixalan.
So it looks to me like it's still ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
It seems like we've unlocked more deck possibilities to a certain extent. We've seen blue-white flyers out of multiple very high-profile teams. Even blue-white boggles, if you will. Some people are calling it because they're slippery scoundrels alongside Squire's Devotion. Seems like a pretty good combo. So, I don't know. I think it's still very fast. I don't know if it changed as much as I thought it was going to change. I was hoping that we get to slow down a little bit, but we are seeing 3-color dinosaur decks. We are seeing, these blue-white decks show up. So the format has changed, but it's still very fast. Yeah,
it's interesting that people are still finding ways to innovate within the tribal kind of barriers that the set has set up for itself when we're seeing these blue-white boggles or flyers decks as we've been seeing here. And Naya Dinos was cool. We saw that a couple of rounds ago too, like you mentioned.
Yeah. I think, and Naya Dinosaurs, the one major problem with it is that there are cards like Crashing Tide and that, there are these good removal spells. And those cards are going to make it into somebody's deck on the other side of the table. So I think in, pure sealed format, those decks are likely going to be a lot better because, not every Impale that somebody opens is going to be in somebody's deck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's get word down on the street from what happened in that last match. Sam Black is down in our feature match area. Hi, Sam. How are you doing? Maria and JVL here in the booth with you.
Hey, I'm good.
All right, so talk to us a little bit about your deck. Very aggressive. Tell us how you ended up on that build.
Well, we looked at a bunch of different configurations. We had a bunch of good red aggressive creatures, and we looked at pairing red with blue because our blue had a lot of evasive early flyers, but we couldn't figure out other configurations that we liked, whereas our blue and white went really well together. And another thing that we ended up having going on with my deck is that I had the ability to sideboard into a slower, grindier Grixis deck, and I like the ability to juke there if I think they're going to be particularly good against my aggressive deck. So I guess that's how.
So I have a question for you as far as what you think is a card, particularly one in your deck, that has really overperformed for you so far today.
All of my cards are genuinely functioning as intended.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, so something to talk about in the, on the penultimate turn of the first game you won, you were able to use a Bombard to kill 2 of your opponent's creatures when he blocked your Dusk Charger.
Yeah, that was a really good draw.
Yeah, so you drew that off the top. Yeah. I was going to ask if you had planned to set that up or if you played around Crashing Tide or anything.
I just peeled that and then on Friendly Fire. It was a game that was going to be really hard to win.
Okay.
Well, your deck looks sweet, Sam. Best of luck to you the rest of the rounds. Thanks for chatting.
Thanks.
Sam Black there, Team Madison in our feature match area this round, bringing the beats, Red-Black Pirates. And that was a cool note, too, siding into Grixis Pirates if he needs to.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was kind of excited when I was looking at Sam's deck list, is just how big his sideboard was.
Sure.
His deck can look a lot of different ways in Games 2 and Games 3.
Oh, that's really interesting stuff. All right, more Magic here from round 4 when we come back after these messages.